And speaking of giant monster stuff coming out, I think it's probably a great time for us to hop into our first segment, which is actually an extended blizzard of kaiju news. All right. I am going to kick things off. So what we'll do is we'll start things off with just a couple of little things that I need to share just right off the bat, get this literally done and out of the way, and then we can move on to some real collectible stuff. Because if you are a kaiju fan, you have to, of course, know that we saw the trailer for Godzilla versus Kong. That is the official title. And we got to see that. Let's talk just a brief moment about it. I was actually kind of not following the development of this movie. I just remembered that they kept getting sort of like pushed around in terms of release. And at one point, I just remember saying to myself, I don't even care until the movie comes out. Like, stop teasing me with this. Are they going to have a trailer or are they not going to have a trailer? But we have one, and it is what it is. Christine, what do you think about that trailer?
Yeah, awesome. I'm really excited about it. I saw like bright lights and it looks like hopefully a lot of monster action. Kong getting pimp slapped. I think that was the best part of the whole trailer. I'm really stoked for it though. Oh my gosh, like there's a lot of scenes in the trailer that kind of like they kind of took from the old Toho 62 film, which I thought was pretty cool. I like when they do the throwbacks in there, and it's exciting to see, like what's going on with Godzilla. Why is he attacking the city, attacking boats, and it's gonna be exciting. Mm-hmm. Can't wait for him to beat Kong's butt.
Yep. Make it so.
It sure worked in 52, didn't it? It sure worked in 52.
Godzilla swam away. He was good.
John, what did you think of the trailer, man?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. My biggest concern is just that Godzilla gets the respect that he deserves. And so that opening punch, bothered me. But I'm more intrigued about this Mechagodzilla appearance, and I'd like to see how that plays out in the big scheme of things. What that means for the movie and as it develops. Because like Christine mentioned, there's a lot going on reminiscent of Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla in the oil refinery, and just some of those scenes are a lot of echoes from the show era. So it's all good. And should I hand it off to
I just want to hear what David has to say.
David's so excited.
Well, you all know that there's not so much love for the MonsterVerse from me, but I gotta say, when I watched the trailer, I did enjoy some aspects of it, like Kong on the raft. I thought that was a nice throwback to the original film. It sort of also reminded me of an issue of Famous Monsters that I read when I was a kid about how when the 62 film came out, there was a lot of diehard fans of the original King Kong and the original Godzilla who were totally like not thinking it was going to be anything worthwhile, that it was silly, it was dumb. We don't need a modern take on it. We already have the original monsters, even though they didn't really battle. But I can't say too much until I actually see the film. Being honest, I'm not nearly as stoked as like the majority of the fans who definitely dominated the internet for about a week. And they're still going on. But that's cool. I'm not going to rain on anybody's parade. It's fun. It's going to be fun. Whatever happens, it's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. And I do have HBO Max, so I'm going to watch it. And the jury's out. And if it ends up being a fantastic movie, then I'm more stoked than ever. So I really hope it's good. And like John, I'm a little bit concerned that Godzilla won't be treated with respect, because I don't like the way they handle Godzilla in all the movies so far. They can't really decide what they want to do with him. Is he a mean? Is he a protector? Is he a titan? Is he this or is he that? Because they scrapped all of the original Japanese sort of storyline of him. But anyway, that's about all I have to say. I'm glad you're all stoked. The jury's out for me. I will definitely see it, and we'll talk after that.
Right on. Okay, so I'll move along, because not only did we, of course, get the Kong and Godzilla trailer, we got a Shin Ultraman trailer, which we showed at the top of the show.
Hey, I didn't say anything. What about the trailer?
Leslie, we already know you love the movie.
I can't say anything. Just a
You
little bit.
tell me everything, man.
Okay. All right. Now,
Sorry, David's the bottom on my screen. I forgot you were in here.
Oh, I'm at the bottom of your list, huh? Is that
Oh,
Literally at the bottom of my screen. Like first there's me on the top, then there's Christine, then there's John, then there's Leslie, and then there's David.
yeah.
Hollywood Squares.
okay.
I guess
I'll be brief. Okay. Despite you know how I feel, who I'm going for, but still, I'm gonna put that all aside. I am so looking forward to this film. I think this is the film that I have been waiting for God knows how long. Because how many times have we seen Godzilla fight King Ghidorah, fight Mothra, fight Rodan? But the one movie I've always wanted to see them do again, or the rematch I wanted to see them do again, was with King Kong. And then when you got the 2014 coming, or at least when the movie came out, right, and then it did successful, then they announced, it was going to bring out a Kong film, and that was going to lead to a collision course between these two. And then seeing the trailer, I was really super excited about it because, for one, it shows Godzilla in a more evil way, and that's something I've always wanted to see because that's what the 2014 trailers kind of presented him as, that he was going to be somewhat of a threat. But then when you watch the movie, you find out that's not the case. So we see more of an evil, like destructive version of this Godzilla alongside a really cool fight scene with Kong and maybe with Mechagodzilla. That's all I'm really looking forward to. I think we're going to get that. And on top of that, like as I mentioned before, this is nothing but great things for the Kaiju fans. Even fans outside of the Godzilla fandom are getting hyped about this film. So the fact that this film is getting so much love from everybody, I think it's a great thing. And Godzilla fans may not want to hear this, but even though we know before Godzilla, whatever, but Kong has a lot to do with that too. So we got to give the big monkey some love too, because it's both of them that's carrying the movie, and both of them is garnering the interest that a lot of people are having right now. So with that being said, I'm looking forward to it, and I think it leaves nothing but great things for the community, and it'll be bad news for our wallets at the end of the day. So that's all I have to say about that.
This is true.
I'm good. My wallet's going to be just fine.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this Kong and Godzilla battling again. I think for me, I'm just Leslie, I'm Team Godzilla. I've been Team Godzilla since I even heard that there was a King Kong versus Godzilla movie back when I was like in 8th grade. But I'm not. I think it's a bummer that this is coming out during COVID, but I'm also excited that it is available on something that I can just watch here in my home. Because I mean, I'd tell you, I already admitted to Lady Kyle. I was like, hey, on the 31st, I'm gonna be starting my day in the theater here in the house, and you can come in after the movie's over and hang out. But I'm looking forward to being able to watch this movie like as many times as I want to, and from the comfort of my safe home. That's probably my biggest takeaway about this. That's the biggest thing I'm excited about. I'm excited about the movie, but I'm also excited about other stuff coming up, and that is probably where I should have segued earlier to the Shin Godzilla trailer. Teaser, really. A lot of these things are technically teasers. The Shin Godzilla teaser that we showed at the top of the show just dropped as well. It's almost like people are saying, let's bundle up all this excitement. Anybody have any thoughts on the Shin Ultraman trailer that they want to share? It was kind of very quick.
Yeah, I do. I think it's great. I love the way Ultraman looks fantastic. It looks really like an alien in this one. The color timer, I'm not sure that I love it not being there, but it doesn't distract from my liking it at all. And just so you guys know out there that the trailer that we saw was the unfinished CGI on the monsters. So if you think it looks a little rough, it does because it's unfinished. We didn't see, that's not the final thing we're going to see in the film. I heard that from several sources and I can't remember.
That's good to hear.
Those scenes of Narunga, which is the monster on Kyle's blanket, which is kind of interesting, kind of a coincidence. The upgraded Narunga and the upgraded Ghidorah definitely will look better in the film because what we got to see was the unfinished CGI. So I'm hoping that's true, and I think that it is. And it should be really fun. I'm curious why they didn't start off with like humanoid monster foes like Baltan or Dada or Zeton or any of those guys or Zara. But who knows? Maybe we'll see those. They only gave us a small teaser about it, but I'm excited. It looks great. It looks very, very reminiscent of Shin Godzilla, actually, with the realistic approach they're taking with the military scenes in the board meeting and so on. So I'm very excited. I have to say, I'm more excited about the Kong versus Godzilla, but I got to be honest, and they got to be me, right?
I will, of course, admit right now I said Shin Godzilla because I'm so used to saying that.
Oh yeah, right.
I said Shin Godzilla. I meant Shin Ultraman.
We understood.
You guys know I actually think it's absolutely stupid that they're calling it Shin Ultraman. I think that is not a thing we need to just keep going. Shin this, Shin that, Shin Kamen Rider, Shin Gappa, Shin Gilala. We don't need all those as far as I'm concerned. But I'm looking forward to seeing how they make this come about. Anybody else have any thoughts that they want to share on that trailer?
Yeah, what I was thinking about, it does look so reminiscent to Shin Godzilla. The angles, it's just their style and approach. And I started to think about the concept of, Shin Godzilla, Shin Ultraman. It I almost feel like there's going to be a series of Shin films in this kind of world that has this same look and feel, or it almost feels like this, even though they're not the same. I mean, I'm just saying, like there might be a Shin Evangelion. This whole series.
John, you make a really good point there. That's almost like when Cloverfield came out, and then the second Cloverfield movie came out, and it's just like it's not that it's a sequel to Cloverfield. Right. It's just in the same Cloverfield universe kind of thing. Yeah. So that's an interesting idea that this could be a type of kaiju movie that we end up getting. Yeah. Maybe in the end, maybe it will dictate an entire subgenre of kaiju movies.
Right. And that's what I saw. That was like the next. It's all in that same universe. It's that new universe, that new world.
It's like a modern take on the classic. Mm-hmm. That's basically what it needs. So resurgence, renewal, new, and if this one is good, then you're absolutely right. We will, and it does well. We will see much more down the line as far as these type movies go. And I hope so. I really hope so.
Yeah, me too. I hope it's successful as Shin Godzilla was.
That's going to be really interesting to me, is like, how successful is this going to do? Because I always wonder about the theatrical success of Godzilla in Japan, and it's difficult to say the theatrical success of Godzilla is greater or worse than the theatrical success of an Ultraman movie, because Ultraman's a television property. But it's, I don't know. It's looking forward to it for sure.
That is interesting, and the thing is that all you guys know, and maybe some of our viewers know, that Ultraman is much more popular in Japan than Godzilla is. You see Ultraman stuff everywhere. He's their superhero. He's like their Marvel guy. Yeah, he's like the Superman. Superman beats them all.
Superman.
Ultraman is very important in Japan, and now I think this film will do really well in the Japanese box office, but worldwide, I'm not sure if he's embraced as much as Godzilla is worldwide. It'll be curious to see how that turns out.
I would imagine that it would do really well in like Asia.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I think it would do really well, but as far as here in the States and Europe, I don't think. Maybe Ryan Mitchell or some of the people from Europe watching can tell us how popular Ultraman is in Europe. So anyway, we shall find out.
I see Ultraman is so television oriented, and I mean they have occasional the film movies like Ultraman Zyrith and things like that, et cetera, et cetera. So I wonder about the suit actor feel, and they've gotten so much better with the special effects over from one Ultraman to the other. It looks good now. I mean, so it'll be interesting to see how I feel after the film versus still seeing on television and the suit actors. And I love the suit. I love the idea of Ultraman has to be in a suit. And part of me feels that way, and not more so than
I agree.
Godzilla, because we grew up watching Ultraman, and it's like I remember hearing Wee Willie Webb, our local celebrity here in the '60s here in Philly, and he would always like, zipping up, well, then it's time to zip up the suits and et cetera, et cetera. It's like that's in my head.
I absolutely remember that.
Yeah, I knew you would.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move along to the third thing I wanted to share, which is we also got a trailer teaser again for the next Pacific Rim entry, which is an anime series coming out on Netflix called Pacific Rim: The Black. I don't really have too much to say about this. To me, the Pacific Rim franchise is not super tidy. I think that if this is something that can sort of come in and make some sense of it, that could make for some cool continuity. But I keep seeing things like so-and-so says that Pacific Rim and Godzilla could be in the same universe. I'm like, dude, stop. Just like Toho's never going to allow that. You need to get that, But so I'm stoked to see how they put this out, because this is one of several animated series that are happening. This is obviously the Pacific Rim, and then there's also, I think I'm just going to hit the next one here, the Godzilla Singular Point, which is coming out later this year. There's also another Ultraman anime coming later this year, and Kong Skull Island animated being, at least it's in development. I don't know when that's coming out. That's not collectible related, but I just needed to get this stuff out of the way so we could at least make sure that people know that we understand what's happening in the world. And in the world of kaiju, Godzilla is the big boy and this big thick guy that we love so much. This is the full figure that we're finally seeing of Godzilla Singular Point.
Finally.
I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think about Singular Point? You guys excited about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Resounding yes.
I am. I really am.
He looks very reptilian and dinosaurish, and I like it. It's different, but it still is familiar.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, Christine. It looks like Godzilla, even though it's different.
Yeah.
And
with Anguirus and Rodan, they look prehistoric anyway, so it's going to have a nice feel, I think.
It looks like this design, they took so many different Godzilla ideas and put them in one design.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit tired of the tiny heads. The head's a little small. It's bigger than the legendary one, but I would like to see like a Godzilla head.
Yeah.
It's at some point in my life. It is very dinosaurian. I like the dorsal plates and
big old thighs.
The thighs and the tail.
Big old thighs.
Someone mentioned when it was posted in another group that we're not going to need a tail stand for this figure when
Right.
That one's not toppling over anywhere. It's an earthquake. So I like it. I'm intrigued. The jury's out, and again, we'll see how it pans out. But I don't hate it. That's a good start for me.
And I think it'll look different animated.
GMK.
What's that?
To me, it kind of reminds me of the gigantic GMK.
I
see that correlation. Yeah.
What's your favorite references in there? I see GMK. I see a little bit of like. Someone mentioned like the maquette Godzilla, the 54, because the head is that shape.
Oh, yeah, or the honey bones, maybe a little bit. The honey bones.
Looks like a gamma. The hands almost look like someone said Godzilla 98, which I don't want it to look anything like that monstrosity. But it's interesting. It's different, and I got to give Toho credit for trying to do something a little bit different and still make it recognizable. That's a hard thing to do.
I love the dorsal fins.
Yeah,
I love the dorsal
fins and the dorsals are cool. So I wonder if those are gonna like light up and glow, like electricity, like coming up through the veins. That would look really cool.
Right? Is that? I heard someone mention about the red. Yeah, he does. Is the red, veins in the dorsal fins related to that red mist or substance that's?
Oh, that they show off in the trailer, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting, Kyle? When you put this close up of the face, it really does resemble the maquette Godzilla 54. It's scaled way down in comparison to the body, but I can definitely see an influence of that sculpt. an original sculpt of the 54 maquette design. So that's pretty cool. I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it.
I mean, to me, it looks like I said, the gigantic GMK, or as I was looking at it yesterday, it kind of reminds me of a more badass version of Godzilla Source. That's what I see.
Yeah.
That's what I see
Yeah, I can see that.
when I look at it. And if they do make a figure of it, Sandra said it in the chat. She wants one, so I guess we'll buy one for the house. So thank you.
I think it'll translate really well to a figure, especially like a resin figure.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh, absolutely. Or light up will be amazing.
Oh, a light up would be cool.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure we'll see that down the line.
Okay. Well, we have covered the singular point, and now that means it's time for me to stop hogging the news spotlight, and let's move to Christine. You want to go first here? Let me get your images open.
I forget which
let's
order. I
see.
think I had my baby girl first.
Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, your baby girl. Let's just do these guys, and then do this.
You got
Lots
your
of
holiday.
exciting news coming out this month.
So much.
There's a lot.
Right.
Yeah,
There's a
great.
lot.
Yes.
I need a job. That's what I'm about yet. Yes,
Wow.
and there she is. Finally, we've got the April Biolante by X Plus. I have been waiting for her to come out. So finally, now the pre-orders are out. You can pre-order the Rick right from the X Plus website. And I think Awesome Collector, you can also pre-order the Rick. So the Rick has a light up, and it comes with sap pieces.
Nice.
Are like dripping out of her mouth and the tentacles. Super cool. I love the sap edition. So the standard version only has a sap, but I mean, look at how big she is too. I think this is the biggest Day for Real to come out so far, and I mean, I couldn't be more happy with her. I think she's absolutely perfect, and she's adorable, and I can't wait to put her on my shelf next to my large monster series Biolante that I have up here. So I went Rick on this one because I have the Rick of my gigantic one up there. So they're going to look so cute together. So hopefully this means we'll be getting a Def 89 Godzilla and maybe a Rose Biolante down the line. That would make me a very happy girl.
Nice.
Very
Super
cool.
cute. So the
Yes.
standard... Maybe go ahead, David, sorry.
I was going to ask you if they were available to pre-order at this point. You might want to let people know that if you weren't going to do that.
Oh yeah, you can pre-order. So the Rick you can get on the X Plus website. There's on the USA website, and then Awesome Collector also has the Rick edition. The standard you can get from Flossie's. Who else has it?
All of your
Link.
regular people.
Yeah, Hobby
Yeah.
Search Japan, Big Bad Toy Store.
But keep in mind, if someone's looking to pre-order it, that pre-order window ends on the 24th of this
Soon.
month.
Yeah, so get those pre-orders in.
Yep. Now, when is it to be released? Do we know, or did it?
July.
July. My birthday month. Woohoo! Best birthday present ever.
All right. What's next, Christine?
So next we have the
Funko
I
stuff.
put on. I know, but I'm like, I remember which one I put is the next part. Ah, yes. So we got some new Funko Pops. So the ones that I'm just gonna cover are the Walmart exclusive, which I thought were really cool. So it's called City Lights Edition. So they have this big Godzilla that's covered. It has like a blue hue, like from the city, and then there's also a giant version of the Kong that goes with it that has like the purple hue. So these actually sold out really fast. The pre-order for these capped, I think within like an hour or so. The pre-orders were capped. So I don't think these are available anywhere else except for maybe on eBay or something for twice the price. But somehow, luckily, I snuck in the window for the Walmart, for the Godzilla one from Walmart. So I did get a pre-order in for that. I'm excited. I didn't get the Kong, but now I kind of wish I had because they look so cool together. But there's a whole bunch of other Funko Pops that they came out with. So this is the FYE exclusive. So this one is still available to pre-order on the website, and hopefully they'll have it in stores as well. This is the Glow edition. So his eyes spins and the atomic breath lights up and glows in the dark, which I thought was really cool. I'll probably grab
Nice.
this one too. I really like how they've stylized it a little bit more than the older Godzilla figures that came out. So there's a whole bunch of other ones too. Like you can get from FYE. There's the Walmart exclusive, and there's the regular Funko Pop. They have a whole bunch of different ones that came out for Godzilla vs Kong. There's little keychains too as well that you can pre-order, so you can find those online also.
Excellent.
And then the last one I had to talk about is there's a new color out for the Kaiju Ramen by Illustrata. So this you can actually, the pre-order just opened for this on February 6th. There's not really, they didn't have an end date, but usually it's within a few weeks. So if you're looking to get, this is the third colorway edition they have. It's kind of like Barney, and I think it's cute on his hat. It says "I love you" on there. So this is Dead Dino.
Yeah, right.
Okay, now it's really fun. I love Kyle's and yours, but sorry,
too much.
it's too much.
The last two releases of this were really popular, so I think this is a cool colorway. It's bright, it's fun. So I missed it on the last two. Here's your chance. Pick up the Barney edition.
We all might talk smack about the Barney edition, but you know that there are kids who have grown up who are getting that money right now who are like, you know what? There's my Barney figure.
Oh, no.
That's right.
So it's $170. And you can pre-order it on Mighty Jax.
Very nice.
Cool.
I love the one I have. I have the Nuclear Edition. Kyle, I know you have the first release that came out, and so now I'm on to the third one. So hopefully they keep coming out with more because they're really cool.
Fun stuff.
All right. Great job, Christine. Thank you so much. Thank you for ending it with Barney. All right. So I'm going to, John, you're going to be next. So I'm opening up your PDF. Give me just a second to get it into view mode.
Take your time. Likewise.
I like the yellow ramen thing. That looks really cool. I do like that part.
You know what? So we just went by this place in town. It's called Ramen 101. There's a place in Elk Grove. And as we were driving by, I saw on the wall they had a painting of the Great Ramen off Kanagawa, which is an illustration by the same artist who designed Kaiju's ramen. It's like a giant bowl of ramen like in the ocean. And I was like, no way, I couldn't believe I saw their artwork like inside this ramen place. So we're going to go get ramen there probably next week or so. Take some pictures in there. Really neat.
Yum. Save me a bowl, Christine, please.
I'll bring my Kaiju's ramen beer with me.
Nice. Do that, please. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, John, here you go, bro.
Thanks, Kyle. Okay, so the bit of news I want to share starts off with these really cool things that only happen in Japan. And they have a 4K digital remaster Godzilla series coming. Where there's 7, but there's already one done, remastered Showa films that will air for 8 consecutive months. You know, they're doing this to go along with Godzilla vs. Kong release. And so you have Shodai, Kong, Mothra, Ghidorah, the Three-Headed Monster, Destroy All Monsters, Ghidorah, Biollante. Just, it's going to be wonderful to see these remastered. I hope they're going to be released, on, with 4K versions at some point. That would be really cool. And so that's the first thing.
Now.
Yeah, right. I know. Now, the next cool item, which was announced a couple days ago, is the Godzilla vs. Kong One Will Fall, the Art of the Ultimate Battle Royale Deluxe book. And great cover. You won't see it's available for pre-order on Amazon. I think it's running between $40, $50. But inside, concept art interviews with the filmmakers, on-set photography, and all kinds of cool stuff that you could expect that didn't make the film, but we'll have the book. And so that's another great book.
I'm a huge
nice
art of book fan, like art of movie in book format fan. I love those. And the benchmark for me, if anybody had these when they were a kid, were the art of Star Wars, of Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Those books are the benchmark for what an art of book is. And so when one comes out and it doesn't match those standards, doesn't meet those standards, I go a little crazy on it. and the Godzilla King of the Monsters one, huge thumbs down. Terrible, terrible art book. Absolutely. Only buy it on discount, in my opinion. Sorry to be so in your face about it. In your face.
I'm sorry. Keep it real. Keep it real. It's funny. It's so funny. I knew you were going to say the art of Star Wars. The art of Empire Strikes Back growing up was such. I mean, I still have mine, from back in 83, 80, 81. I mean, the spine is torn. I mean, I open those pages so much, but beautiful. You're right. They are the standard. The next great thing that's being released is the Bandai. Oh, excuse me, Bandai. Yeah, I don't say Bandai enough. Bandai Ichiban Kuji Lottery Yuji Sakai Godzilla 2021 figure that's coming in their lottery. Their A prize. It's 20 centimeters high, 35 centimeters long, and it's coming in May. And I love Sakai's approach to it. I like the head size a little bigger. This is one I would like to have of the 2021 Godzilla. So this is cool.
Pose.
I actually kind of like that.
Yeah.
He's ready.
So
to
this
go.
is going to be a lottery item. So if anybody is curious, if anybody who's watching, we talk a lot about lotteries with a company called Onraku Onsaku. My guess, however, since you're talking about a larger company like Bandai being involved here, this is not a small lottery that's going to be like similar to the Medicom lotteries. This is basically going to be something in store in Japan. You'd have to go to the store and buy a ticket, and then if it's like the last ones, you buy a ticket and that ticket will get you something, but it's like one of 5 or 6 different prizes, and the big awesome prize would be this Godzilla. And then there'd be things like I did get some other cool stuff. There was a pillow. Like I have a pillow from one of the last ones, and like little character cards, and there's a whole bunch of different stuff that you can get from this. But I just wanted to give that distinction for people who might have heard us talk about the lotteries with Medicom and so forth versus these are like I'm guessing Family Mart or 7-Eleven or Lawson in Japan will be where you go get your tickets and stuff.
I was when I was in Japan for Shin Godzilla, I remember in the theater, the smaller theater I went to, they had they were doing the Shin Godzilla lottery at the time.
Right
it was right there in the theater. So you came out the movie and everybody went to that line. I didn't win it, but I think that was one location in the theaters itself. So I wonder during Kong's release, will that be available?
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be right around then. I'm sure it's going to be announced, and the same thing that usually happens. People in America and around the world will go nuts and pay exorbitant amounts of money for this figure, and then 6 to 7 months later, it will be available in spades for half the price at least.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that the movie Godzilla vs. Kong is being released in May in Japan, and it's going to be tough for them with everybody talking about it. And
that's rude.
Yeah, it's rough. This is strange. Yeah. Okay, so my next item is something pretty cool, but unfortunately, I can't participate in it. Godzilla Store is going to be celebrating their 5th anniversary in November of this year, and so they have a cool promotion going on. If you use the Godzilla app, you can vote in this wonderful promotion they have going, where you can choose or you can vote on their next Kaiju soft vinyl figure, and there's these 10 to choose from. I don't know where the poll is right now. I don't know where Ebra fits in there, but we'll see what it comes out and what the fans will, or the Godzilla collectors decide. But that's pretty cool.
Okay, let me just really quickly say that in the Godzilla Collectors group on Facebook, Brian Sudol, which I hope I'm saying his name right, has been posting the results. So he actually signed up for the app, which for people to understand, this is not just like, I could download an app and use it. You actually have to do a little legwork. You can sign up for an account, but you have to have a Japanese address to put in. So if you don't know how to get around those kinds of things, then having the app doesn't really do anything for you. But at the last post that Brian made, which was 18 hours ago, It looks like Gorosaurus might be the number one, but it's the different 10 different monsters. Did you say them? They're all listed up there on the screen.
Yes.
Gorosaurus is number one. It looks like Super Mechagodzilla. Yeah, Super Mechagodzilla is number two, which is ridiculous in my opinion. And then looks like number three would be Ebirah. So
Wow.
yeah, it's interesting to
Really?
see how people are voting, because I know when I've been sort of following this since Brian's been posting them in the group, and like Ebirah was in the lead at the first update, and yeah, I'm not sure when it ends, but I'm definitely interested in how it ends.
Yeah, that should be. I'm surprised Mothra is not in the running, but
I know.
Yeah.
Maybe because there's so many.
Yeah, she only has
figures out there, I guess.
182 votes on this. Yeah.
Aww.
It looks like
that's Brian. Thanks, Brian, for doing those updates. I have to check that out.
it's been going back and forth from Gorosaurus to Super Mechagodzilla for the longest time. So those are going to be one of those two that wins. I thought a Mecha Ghidorah would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would have been.
I could totally revamp this list for Bandai, because in my opinion they've got some mistakes in here. Why the 2001 Baragon? I think anybody can get the 2001 Baragon figure for a pretty cheap price right now.
Yeah.
And Gorosaurus, they already did, and I said this the other day with somebody. Hedorah, they put out a gorgeous Hedorah figure. Bandai put out a gorgeous Hedorah figure just maybe 10 years ago. Why do they need another one? So anyway, those are peanut gallery comments for me. Sorry about that.
That's all good. Okay, a couple more items. There's also these cool little Saw Final puppet mascot figures. It's a set of 10.
So cute.
Yeah, they are. They're like 4 to 5 centimeters in height there or so.
You know, little finger puppets are some of the very, very first collectibles I ever got.
See?
Yeah. I always get them at G-Fest. I always go grab some.
Yeah. I have a little set. These are cool. They look good. And they, I saw them on Hobby Search Japan today for about $48 US, and they'll be coming out in May. So something cool.
Not bad. Like $5 each.
Yeah, fill the shelf a little bit, in the little corner of the shelf.
They're always
And lastly,
sorry, I just gonna say
what was that, David?
always really big draws at Clawmark, Diane's table. We have them set up in these little bins, and believe it or not, she sells so many of these little guys, and there's a whole crowd that just comes and picks through them and checks them out. She's got them all individually for sale, some in sets, but super popular. So I'm sure they're going to go.
Yeah, they're cute, and they're fun little shelf
cash
fillers.
cows. Yeah, they are. And it's cool little. Sometimes you get some unique things that may not exist in a bigger form.
Mm-hmm.
And so, lastly, something cool. I hope. X Plus announced the Toho 30 centimeter series Yuji Sakai modeling collection Godzilla 1991, the Gyaos Hokkaido version. This is dear to my heart because I had an opportunity to work on the box art for this one, along with friend and colleague Jeremy Souls of Summit Kaiju International. So it was an honor to see it roll out. Now, it was to come out at Wonderfest, but because of coronavirus, we know Wonderfest was canceled. This is an unassembled kit, and it retails for about $100. And there's a lottery for it, unfortunately, and I think it will end February 17th. And Paul has a couple more slides that show the insides and what it's like. Dorsal fins are awesome, so you can make it a light up, I guess, too, if you wanted to. A couple more slides, and that's it. So it was an honor, again, working, doing this box art, and particularly for Sakai-san. And this is Sakai's setup, so it was awesome to see the box art displayed along with his amazing figure, which we all love. This is something you have to have in your collection if you're an X-Plus collector, for sure. And that's all my news. I'm newsed out.
You're newsed out. Your news looks so good, John. It looks so good. Fancy stuff. I love it. All right. So I guess that means, Leslie, you are up, sir.
All right. On my news segment, we've been talking about, finger puppets, Yuji Sakai kits, Defo reels. But you know me, I'm all about the big guys. So we're going to talk about the big guys in this segment, courtesy of Spiral Studios. They're doing two monsters from Godzilla King of the Monsters 2019. I want to talk about the Burning Godzilla first, Kyle. You got a photo
Perfect,
for that.
because it's ready to go.
And
Now, ladies and gentlemen, yes,
wow.
Amazing.
that is the deluxe version of the Burning Godzilla. It is the Ultimate Master Line, the deluxe version of Burning Godzilla 2019. And it actually comes with a lot of effect. It comes with the awesome base that you can put Godzilla on top of that also lights up, and it comes with the thermonuclear pulse like Mothra energy wings that you can put on top of Godzilla. And what's so cool about this statue, in fact, you can actually take the wings off if you don't want to display the figure like this. But this was at the moment in the film when, of course, between him getting nuked in the face and Mothra sacrificing herself, Godzilla becomes really thermonuclear, and he starts pulsating that big just glob of energy that ends up destroying King Ghidorah, quite frankly. And actually, you know what? When this figure came out, and I saw the Mothra wings, I was like, was this really in the film? But then when I went back and watched the film, it definitely was in the film. So this actually is taken from a specific moment in the film, which is awesome. Now the standard just comes with just Godzilla himself, without the wings and without the base or whatever. But even the standard comes with the light up. So that's awesome. Now these figures, they're from Spiral Studios. I don't really know much about them. They're kind of like new on the block, quite frankly. I was really kind of hesitant with really trying to get involved with this company. But supposedly they're also doing King Ghidorah, which I'll talk about soon. But this figure in particular, the Burning Godzilla 2019, the deluxe and the standard, is due to arrive in the first quarter of 2022. Now, the monster that he faced in this movie and obliterated in this scene is the other monster that Spiral Studios is doing. And of course, I'm talking about, Kyle, help me out with King Ghidorah.
I will help you out with the standard of King Ghidorah.
I get these so bad. They're gorgeous.
And yeah.
Look at that,
That's
so
a monster.
detailed.
Oh
Wow.
my God, ladies and gentlemen, this is
Huge.
the MonsterVerse 2019 King Ghidorah. Now, of course, this actually was announced, I want to say sometime late last year or sometime last year, but I really didn't pay much attention to it, quite frankly, because it is so big. Only when AJ Russo from the awesome show Kaiju Live got on board and was really selling this product was when I really started investing into this line. I'm actually getting King Ghidorah. I'm not getting Godzilla, but I am getting King Ghidorah. And as you can see here, this thing is going to be big.
Wow.
So for all those people that kept on saying, we want a gigantic King Ghidorah. We want a gigantic King Ghidorah. Well, this is basically what you're getting.
Yeah.
Because the top of his wing is at least 3 feet tall, and the tallest head is 25 inches high. So he will go great with the gigantic 2019 Godzilla. He towers over him, so he is awesome. Once again, the deluxe version comes with King Ghidorah, and it comes with the light up in his all three of his necks. When he's about to speed out his gravity beams, it starts to light up, and it comes with the base that lights up too. But King Ghidorah, the standard, just comes with just King Ghidorah. And even though the Burning Godzilla is dropping next year, first quarter 2022, King Ghidorah is dropping in May. So only a few months from now. But you'll definitely see it on Collect All Monsters.
That's
you'll definitely see it because I'm going to have the figure. Hopefully it'll be in the shop because he is going to be so big. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. For what I understand, pretty much all the pre-orders have been sold out of this guy or have been capped. Kaiju Live sold out of all their pre-orders. Awesome Collector still has the Burning Godzilla up for pre-order, but not King Ghidorah. So even though it's a kind of a startup company, there's a lot of vested interest in what they're doing. So hopefully we will get some quality products with the Burning Godzilla as well as King Ghidorah here.
Wow. This will look amazing in Helmy's setup.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm going to table for it.
I'm gonna put my gigantic 2019 with it, or if I want to create a fantasy battle with the 89 and create a Godzilla with a King Ghidorah setup, it's gonna be awesome seeing a gigantic version of King Ghidorah in my collection. Probably, with this being so big, you're probably only going to see just the wing on my screen here, but but still, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully it'll go off without a hitch. Now, the next figure I want to talk about that came up for pre-order just this week, as a matter of fact. Christine talked about the Biollante from the Death Row line. Now we got another Heisei monster coming into the 25 centimeter line with the 1992 version of Mothra. Yes. Now, this was teased last year, I think, at a Super Festival show. It was on the flyer, but it was an unpainted prototype. But now we get the fully painted pictures of this thing, and it's probably going to be the most colorful looking version of Mothra that Excerpts has ever done. Which, you know, and considering what they've done before with the 61, 64, GMK, Mothra has always been colorful, but this one looks really be the most colorful. And it comes with the base that has the iconic Mothra, you know, religious symbol onto the base. And on the back end of the base, it comes with a partially unearthed Mothra egg, which I've seen some folks really take issue with. Like, why would they give us like a full egg like they did with the 64? But I'm thinking that this is something to separate this from the 64. And if you watch the film, film of Godzilla vs. Mothra, when we first see the egg, we do see it partially unearthed or partially buried. So it's really taken from the moment in the film. The red comes with the light up in her eyes, and the standard comes without the light up. Now, for what I understand, Vampire Robots is offering this. Awesome Collector is offering this. Kaiju Live is offering this. Now, to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this figure is going to be high up in price when it comes to shipping. What I understand, for those who already ordered it for the Ripboard site, I think they quoted shipping for the figure like $175.
Wait, shipping was $175?
Yes, because the box is gonna be big, because Mothra's wingspan is at least 50 centimeters wide.
Yeah, those Mothra boxes are like this wide. They're really wide, and I don't need to say it anymore. But yeah, that's like I can understand why it's going to be so expensive with today's shipping crisis.
Oh man,
it's going to be as expensive as the Rodan was.
It's the size of the Rodan box.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
that's $200 and some dollars hobby search had it shipped.
I was gonna say that the same thing happened with Rodan. So with these big winged creatures, the shipping is gonna be up there. And I hate to say this, ladies and gentlemen, but you're gonna have to get used to it, because with this pandemic, we're at a better off place than we were a year ago, but we are nowhere near out of the woods. So we still have to pay these high prices until EMS shipping opens back up again. And I don't see that happening for a long time. So until then, we have to get our stuff from DHL. Now, I will say that Awesome Collector is offering a cheaper option. He's actually offering, Jason Wells from Awesome Collector, he's offering not only a shipping method where you can get it sooner in June, because the figure is supposed to drop in June. But if you want to pay for a cheaper shipping method, which is I think it's surface shipping. Oh yeah. Meaning that basically it travels on the earth, so basically it's going to travel by boat, which like 60 to 90 days longer than DHL. And supposedly that is going to happen, like the figure supposedly, if you do that surface shipping option, the figure won't get to you until August. So Awesome Collector has that option where if you want the figure in June, you pay that that amount, or if you want it for a cheaper price and have it delivered to you in August, you can do that as well. But either way, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to use a DHL shipping because I don't want to wait more than 5 days for my stuff. But once again, this is one step closer of the big 5 monsters that are represented for us X Plus from each of the major eras from the Showa period. We got Godzilla from the Showa Heisei Millennium, Mothra now. Who else? Mecha Godzilla. The only 2 left we're missing. We need a Mecha King Ghidorah from the Heisei, and we need a Final Wars Rodan, but we can wait on that because God knows Final Wars. Jesus Christ. But anyways, I'm looking forward to the King Ghidorah from Spiral Studios. Looking forward to Mothra here. So we're in for some great stuff. And that's all I have to say on my segment. Thank you, Cobb.
You're welcome. Now, David, I believe that puts things squarely in your direction.
Yes, indeed. But before I go to mine, I just want to say that I probably will get the Mothra for Keith because he loves that Mothra. He loves the 92. Aww. And I'm just gonna have to get ready and shell out the extra money for that shipping. Now, the shipping thing is really kind of especially for me because I don't mind shelling a lot of money out for a figure, right? A cool figure. But I draw the line when shipping costs more than the figure itself.
Yeah.
That, to me, I can't justify that any way you slice it. So I passed on a couple of things just for that very reason. So anyway, And getting back to John's, the art of Kong, Godzilla versus Kong, one of my favorite art books, aside from The Empire Strikes Back, is the Peter Jackson's art of Skull Island. Okay,
Cool.
From his movie. And if you guys haven't seen that, you can get it like on Amazon for really cheap now because it's an older book. And it talks about the flora and fauna of the entire island. It goes into like the insect life and the plant life. It's just so cool, and it really creates the whole like ecosystem of that really cool island. Things that they were supposed to show in the movie, they either got cut or they didn't do it. So just wanted to say, though, I love those books too. They're great. And so for my news, Kyle, let's start with the Sakai 91 Godzilla versus King Ghidorah resin model kit. Now, this goes along with
that pose.
John's, the pose is great. John's news item about the kit, the vinyl kit from X Plus. Now this one, it's called the Abashiri Fierce Battle version. Okay, and it's going to stand at 30.5 centimeters, and it is a resin kit, and it retails for 40,000 yen. Now it's beautiful, it's great, and it's also very limited. It's limited to only 60 kits.
Wow.
That's going to be really hard to get.
Small.
I'm sure Brian Mitchell, if you still watch it, will probably get one because this is his see right here. It's should be dropping in June of this year, 2021. And I don't have any information to give you guys on purchasing this just yet, but I will, follow up in our group or on a future episode. One other cool thing is Sakai teased a Heisei King Ghidorah kit to go along.
Yes.
Wow.
No
cool.
way.
Now Steve Sergioli has the only one I know who's built a Mecha King Ghidorah kit or a Heisei King Ghidorah kit. So I'm sure he's excited about that news too. So yeah, I mean, I'm not convinced that I'll get one, but it looks great, and I do love that pose. It's a great pose.
I think this is the one that he was sculpting during Goji Fest, wasn't it?
Yes.
I believe you're right. You're right, and I think he featured it
Hopefully
next
we'll
to
see it in vinyl form soon.
when it was built. It was featured next to it, so that's an honor right there to have your kit. Box art with Sakai's great work.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. Kyle, let's talk about Billiken next. If you can cue that up for me, please. I'm not sure what came first, the Gyaos or the Gargantuas, whatever you had it in first. Okay, so I'm very excited about this.
Yeah.
Vinyl it's 30 centimeter Sanda and Gaira, aka the brown and the green Gargantua. It's sculpted by an artist called Masao Fukuda, and they're unpainted and unassembled. And there's no pricing for it just yet, and it's not really available up for pre-order just yet either. And when the information comes, you can either check with us or with Kaiju Battle, Michael Farah, because he has all that great information too. They're the exact same scale as the 30 centimeter Gargantuas. So if you, for some reason, missed one of them, you can fill in that gap with one of these because it's the same scale. And they look like really great sculpts. I love the pose of Gaira. He's that classic, like I'm ready to pounce pose. And some of you guys know that one of my first experiences with X Plus was buying the vinyl figures of the X Plus Gargantuas because they were both resin and vinyl kits before they were mass produced as figures. So the ones that I have are actually built and painted. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how they compare to these guys. And it's very exciting. And I just love the way you can just really go crazy with the paint job on these. This one, I'll probably add some blood to Gaira. What happens, but I'm very excited about that. Oh, and I'm not sure whether they're going to be available separately or together. Maybe both. I'm not really sure. Ryan's in the chat right now. It could be a double box. There you go, right there.
He thinks it could be a double box.
Could be a double box. That means a double expensive. So
That's right.
Pleasure.
What I would do if I wanted to get these is have the person I buy them from or the company, because they usually come unassembled in plastic bags. Just don't even ship it in the box. Put it in a smaller box just together like that, if that's even possible, because I do really want these kits and I don't want to pay a lot in shipping. So exciting news. And also one more thing from Billiken. Billiken is re-releasing the 1967 Gyaos kit. This came out a long time ago. I think it was the early 90s. Ryan will probably have more information than I because he's our resident model. But it looks great. The modeling is a brown modeling this time. I don't know what the first one was. It's 27 centimeters and it's 8,800 yen. And it was available on the Billiken site, but it's sold out almost instantly.
Wow.
So that's what that. And hopefully Billiken will get around to replenishing their stock of these kits because they're really great kits to start in the model building hobby. And I love them. I really love them. So
I feel like the Billiken stuff is like they I don't think they knew how much draw their stuff would need because their kits sold out immediately. It's like a Mondo release or something.
Yeah, it's like a Mondo release. So, okay, let's talk about the Super 7 Toho collaboration. Now, I sent a message to Brian Flynn, the owner of Super 7, and he hasn't gotten back to me yet, but I want to, sort of expand on this. I'm just going to give you a little tidbit of information now. So, Super 7 is a cool shop it's in the Bay Area, and I think it's also in San Diego now too. I used to go to the one in Japantown in San Francisco. Yep, there's the announcement there. And I was living in Oakland at the time, and I worked Monday through Thursday. And every Friday, I'd take myself to lunch in Japantown, and then I go hang out with the guys at Super 7. And this was the time where they were selling a lot of Godzilla soft vinyl toys and Ultraman stuff, a lot of M1, and they got tons of stuff from them. Great guys. So they're doing a collaboration with Toho, and they're going to be releasing figures, apparel, and accessories. And the first thing we're going to see is a 3.75-inch articulated Godzilla figure, which should be pretty cool. And there's no images of it yet. And I'm sure this, like I said, I'd love to expand on this story and even do an interview with Brian about it. And he can explain in his own words what this collaboration is going to bring us in the future. So I'm very curious and excited about that because the guys at Super 7 are just awesome. They're really cool guys, and I miss those days. They were really fun days. Just go in, hang out with the guys, and see what's new. Drop a couple $100 on soft vinyl toys, and then
I gotta get over there.
That was how I started to get into the soft vinyl. It was actually, I think I've said this before, Brian Flynn, before I knew he was even involved with the store, before the store opened. I bought something from him on eBay, and he lived in the Lower Haight, and I worked on Fillmore Street, about 3 blocks away from each other. So he saw my address. He's like, "Oh, you live in San Francisco? Do you want to just come pick it up?" And on my lunch break, I went to the house and picked it up, and that's my soft vinyl collection. And that was all it took, man. That was all it took. He had both issues and original marathons and bull marks, and the way he curated his display, it was just out of this world. And yeah, he's the one that started me down that path. So thank you, Brian, or don't thank you, Brian. Whatever. See the end result right here all around me. So, and then I think I have one more thing to talk about, which is I'm kind of excited about this. It's a re-release of the Aurora Dark King Kong kit.
Oh, child memories.
This is a perfect companion to the Godzilla that just came out in December, and this is the second issue of this kit. The first one is a long box, and it had no glow-in-the-dark pieces. But this one is the one near and dear to my heart because this is when I started to buy models and toys. I was a kid, and they had them in Woolworths and Grants and not toys, Two Guys and things like that.
Two Guys, yeah.
I think these boxes were actually bigger than the standard Aurora Monster kits. They were like $2 for the others were $1.50. And the James Bama art always mesmerized me. I just love the way that looks. And I always considered this to be the Toho Kong after he got struck by lightning because of the glow.
Because of the glow. Yeah.
So, in my mind, this was the Toho Kong, and he fought the 62 sort of stylized 62 Godzilla. Yeah, that's the actual kit right there. The base is actually really fun, and it just brings back such nostalgia for me. You can get that. You can pre-order those on Cult TV Man and Monsters in Motion, And I'm sure Sean Lincoln will have them because he had the Godzilla kit. So it's not available for pre-order on his site yet, but I'm sure he will be carrying it too. $29.99, so not bad at all.
Yeah,
Not bad.
And
What's
so
wrong with that?
those of you who want to revisit your childhood days of model building and what got you started in the hobby, some of us old timers anyway, this is what this is the kit for you. And yeah, I'm really excited about it. And that's all I got.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, that means it is now time for me to do my collectible portion of the news, and I will I'll whip through this a little bit so we can get on to our intermission and then come back for our second segment. But I'm gonna just kick things off with basically sharing that Bandai, as we know, they put out Godzilla figures all the time, especially when new movies come out. And honestly, their past couple of movies, their past couple of releases from the movies, I haven't been super interested in anything but the Godzilla figure. But finally, they've got a new Kong figure, and it is, I think it looks really awesome. He's kind of like, he looks like a badass, but at the same time, he looks like he's going to fit in your collection really well. I'm looking forward to getting this guy when he is finally available, which will be the middle of March. You can see right here on the Bandai Godzilla section website, you can purchase him, or I think you might be able to pre-order him, but maybe not, for just 2,200 yen, which is approximately $22 US. In addition, there is a new Godzilla figure, although I'm not sure if he's any different from the previous Godzilla figure. They also have put out the Shin Ultraman figures, at least 3 of them, or 3 characters. The first one that I'm going to show here is the actual Shin Ultraman from Bandai, which costs 1,540 yen, about $15 US. This is currently, like I was saying about the Godzilla lottery stuff, a lot of American fans are currently like trying to get this stuff, and it's on the shelves in Japan, no problem. You can go into stores and just get them, but getting them online is a little bit of a different situation. So I'm going to say, if you're really interested in getting this stuff and you're frustrated by how difficult it is, just have some patience, because Bandai makes thousands and thousands and thousands of thousands and thousands of little figures. So they're going to make thousands of figures of these. These are not limited edition by any stretch of the imagination. In addition to Shin Ultraman, I'm calling it Shin Naranga. There's the front of him, there's the back, and he costs $27.50, so about $27 US. Also, Ghidorah is featured in that trailer, and they have released the Ghidorah figure as well. Same price, $27.50. And the last thing I'll mention from this set is there is also an Ultra Shin Ultraman, which is hyper posable, I guess you could potentially say. I'm not really sold on the actual poses of this guy, but he is what he is, and he costs about 2,200 yen. These are not available right now, like I said, just for you to go out and click a button and have it delivered to you, unless you're going to pay quite a bit of money for it. So just have a little patience. Be vigilant. If we see them posted for a good price, you can bet that we will share that information in the Collect All Monsters Monster Collectors Facebook group.
Yes, indeed.
And then last but not least, the last news item I wanted to mention is, I mentioned Mondo's briefly earlier. Mondo is a company that puts out T-shirts, apparel, and more, now collectibles included. And we've talked about them on the show in terms of their posters, or sometimes I wear the shirts or have pins. But this is a Pulgasari figure that they have been releasing colored variations of all throughout the month of February. And so the first one happened, that's the ice blue one with yellow on the left there. Last week, 2 weeks ago, they released the red one. And then last week, they did this purplish green one in the middle. And there's only 2 more releases, one more in the standard size, which I guess you could call it standard. It's about 8 to 9 inches tall. I know Robert Dwyer is in the chat or watching live. Maybe he can chime in and say how tall these guys are. But apparently next week, February 16th, that's when the sort of realistic paint version comes out. And so I'll be trying to get that one. And then the following week, the last week of February, the big boy gets released. I understand he's about as big as an X Plus figure. So
Wow.
there you go. Mondo is doing their entire Pulgasari Blitz all throughout the month of February. And I'm really crossing my fingers that I can get that one on the 16th. I should actually close this and say they'll be doing their next Pulgasari sale on the 17th. No, that's not. That's just mean.
80.
You know, the funny thing about Mondo is like they have a reputation for stuff going on sale and selling out almost immediately. And I was like, oh, they're not really having that problem with their collectibles so much, but they like the last one I think was up for less than an hour before it sold out.
Wow.
So just
Oh, okay.
if you are interested in getting these, I hate to say it this way, you have to have money at the ready. You have to be ready to just pull that trigger and buy it right immediately. Which is kind of a bummer, but at the same time, I think that's sort of what makes the Mondo experience in a way. And that's what we're dealing with Mondo. We've got a whole bunch of more Mondo stuff coming out this year, including some Godzilla collectibles. I'm hoping next month we can actually get Hector from Mondo Collectibles on, and we can talk to him a little bit about what is coming down the road. Robert actually said that the Pulgasari figure is 8 inches tall, which is perfect in my opinion.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay. So there we go. Our news segment, everybody. Thank you all for hanging out and watching. Before we go to our intermission, I just want to really quickly thank all 70 people who are watching. 70 people watching live. You guys rule. We are about to take a quick intermission. It's about 2 minutes. That's a note for my co-hosts so they can mentally time themselves of how long they need to be gone. And then when we come back from the intermission, we have a segment dedicated to Unlucky Box Days. We'll be right back.